Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by Blip Billboards. Spring break is coming up, guys. And do you know that more than 56% of Americans are planning to travel this spring season, with 30% traveling during spring break? That's an average of 8% of an increase from last spring break of 2021. Follow consumers, guys, outside with your next billboard advertising campaign. Get started. Sign up on blip.com. That's right, guys. Blip. Blip Billboards will help you out. Check them out today. You can Google them. They have phenomenal type of services and everything else. Blip offers packages and also plans. Check out Blip's 3 different subscription plans that will give your business greater visibility and reach. With their silver plan, $500 plus per month, or about $17 a day. They have their gold plan, which is $1,000 plus per month, or about $35 per day. And thirdly, and last but not least, they have their platinum plan that ranges from $2,500 plus per month, or about $85 per day. You can sign up for their monthly packages or their per day deals. Each of these plans include additional advertising credits, free billboard designs, and additional support from their billboard specialist. Check out these plans today, guys. You're going to love it. We use them here on the show, and I can tell you right now, guys, they are phenomenal. Check out Blip. Google search them, Blip Billboards. They'll come right up on your search browser. Sign up today. Create that next digital billboard to stand out with your customers, or if you're a podcaster such as myself, it'll give you more engagement with your listening base and your following. Check them out today. Blip Billboards.
Welcome to the Patriot Brief.
But I think in the past couple of years, especially since Biden has taken office, I think the shift has been like, I rarely hear about illegal aliens as much from my buddies that I'm talking with. It's really more about, like, is my neighbor part of this fucking leftist polarized group that's going to burn my house down if he sees me with an American flag or something like that. So he kind of needs to, I think that if he's going to go with the border wall, build the fucking border wall then in a year. Don't, let's not run on that sloppy campaign of border wall, and then boom, like that.
Well, he's got to like kind of like put 2016 campaign to the side. Hey, it worked in 2016. It sure as hell is not going to work in 2024. We know what's going to work. Okay? We know what we have to focus on. We have to focus on ballot harvesting. We have to end that. Okay? We have to end mail-in ballots. We have to end all that, because that's what's going to be the key role in this election. You know what I mean?
And not only that, but like, here's my whole stance on the ballot harvesting. The only people that should be getting absentee ballots are your men and women overseas, in the military. Other than that, if you're in the dementia area in the nursing home, I'm so sorry. You're not compatible of voting, because you don't have all your marbles in the bag, And this whole ballot harvesting. Look at Racine, Wisconsin, and look at the mass amount of voter fraud. We gotta gut the whole voter system out. We gotta take the dead people out the voting rolls, and we gotta gut this whole thing out. And I think another thing that President Trump's got to really focus on is really implementing 1776 education curriculum, which is bringing back the patriotism back to Americans, stating that this side is clearly, the other side has gone way off the wagon, and you can't get along with them anymore. And as living in Wisconsin and as being a person by faith and as just doing a podcast myself, I'm noticing that a lot of these so-called JFK Democrats, which are John F. Kennedy Democrats, where they're like, I remember back in the day when I disagreed with my neighbor, once we started politics, but at the end of the day, we still went out and got ice cream together, and we're still friends. Now,
without a doubt, yeah.
Now in this day and age.
All right, guys, welcome to the Patriot Brief, guys. It's going to be a quick little show, as our Patriot Briefs usually are. Guys, I hope you enjoyed last night's unfiltered series of Tuesday Madness. Had a little fun in the show, which we do. We have fun. We talk, sometimes serious. We get into politics. We get into sports. We just get about into everything, guys. Here on the show, we did invite Soslin back on the show last night, along with Jimmy the Rant, and supposed to have 420 VIPs joining us, but I don't know what they were having, guys. They were having, some type of computer issue, audio issue, whatever. So we tried to have them on several times, but we don't know what went on with them and this and that. We had to make a little comedy skit about it, of why they weren't able to join us on there. But the show has to go on, right? So, we did have Soslin on the show again, joining us from Wisconsin. Of course, Jimmy the Rant from New Jersey joining us. It was a really, really good show. I thought the turnout was pretty good. And, really, really good show. Definitely going to have Soslin back on the show again here. Not sure when. Not sure if he's going to be on our unfiltered series on Twitch and YouTube, or if he's going to be on the audio podcast here, our regular Patriot Angle podcast audio. Hell, I might even have him on a quick episode of the Patriot Brief. Not really sure. I have to get his scheduling on when he is going to be able to join us again. But guys, today I want to get into just a couple topics here. Basically, which is what's going on. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into the Oscars. I think we all knew what went down on the Oscars, and this and that. But there's a new article here that I did post on my Instagram of Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, literally saying that Disney only opposes a Florida education law because of the woke mob that came after them. Really. That's really, really interesting stuff because, I happen to actually look at this article, and I was pretty baffled by hearing it and actually reading the article because, Disney, don't get me wrong, for years Disney basically only hired what you would normally see in a company, regular men and women, right? They never got into the whole woke culture, the whole, gay, lesbian, transgender, not that they were an evil company or not, but I mean, the LGBTQ community was never, sort of a big thing with Disney, or at least I remember. Now, the video here, we'll plug in here just in a quick bit here, that there's a Disney executive producer saying that the company is now welcoming of her secret gay agenda. And that is being more, the so-called gay agenda is being more implemented into the company of Disney. We're seeing it a little bit of movies, right? The latest movies coming out, where they're actually showing some of that. Now, don't get me wrong. Whatever floats your boat, at least my mother used to say back in the day, God rest her soul. But whatever floats your boat. You want to be gay? Be gay. But don't push it on me to basically understand the same values and views of your agenda. Because I don't support that. Okay? I don't. Now, you can get mad at me. By all means, you want to get mad at me? You want to throw a hissy fit? By all means, go ahead. But I am not going to support something that I don't believe should be a top contender of a talking point. Now, this is going to be a leaked video here from Disney's Reimagine Tomorrow summit reveals top-level employees openly discussing the company's push to include more LGBTQ plus content in its ever-growing library. They want to push more of it into their video library, right? Okay. So I'm not really understanding why the push is to necessarily put it in their video library. In my own personal belief, right, of this whole ordeal, when I grew up, and I'll give you something real quick, okay? When I grew up, we never had this crap in schools, or at least I remember in grammar school. We never had this in grammar school. We never were taught this. I think that we weren't taught it on purpose because it doesn't balance out your learning. You want to learn about LGBTQ, by all means, learn it later in life. It confuses a child. It really does. Now, I'm probably going to get comments. I'm probably going to get, viewpoints and this and that saying, how does it confuse the child, Michael? Well, if you're 5 and 6 years old and you're in kindergarten, as a parent, would you want your child, whether, he's a boy or a girl, to understand that it's okay for that? When you as a parent are trying to teach your child the fundamentals of life yourself. It confuses it. It doesn't balance out the child's learning and this and that. And I just don't agree with it. Now, in this topic, it says by the City Journal, which is, I guess, a side piece in there this is coming from Orlando, Florida. Okay, so I guess it's like a little side journal company that works in Orlando, Florida, saying that I love Disney's content. I grew up watching all the classics. It says Ravino, which is the executive producer of City Journal. He also says that they have been a huge informative part of my life, but at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I heard of things like they would not let you show this in a Disney show, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they shouldn't show it in a Disney show, a Disney movie, whatever. I used to watch, Saturday morning cartoons that were in association with Disney and Universal and all these other big time production companies. And, they shouldn't allow that to be shown in front of what we used to call young eyes, right? Young kids watching this. It's not appropriate for a child at 5, 6, 7, 8 years old to be viewing this type of content. Now, all of a sudden, because we live in this woke, type of culture now, they want to influence it more. They want to allow characters of the same sex origin, two men, kissing each other and having that gay agenda on their movies and stuff, in their movies. I do not agree with that. I don't. I don't know. But here's what Ravenel says. No one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me if it was in public. If you want to do that in public, go ahead. Okay? Because we can't. We can't really say much because it's public. You're free to do whatever you damn well please. Just don't walk down the street butt-ass naked, right? I mean, but, it shouldn't be allowed in Disney movies. Disney movies were created, in my own personal opinion, to enlighten children's hearts through characterization. Whether it's Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I mean, I'm just using small names for, title names of movies for examples. Some of the movies that I grew up watching. And, I mean, if I was born in this generation, which, thank God I wasn't, I actually have common sense and morals, my learning pattern would be destroyed. Now, folks, I have obtained a video from inside Disney's all-hands meeting about the Florida parental rights bill that Governor DeSantis literally just passed in law, in which executive producer Latoya Ravenel, says that her team has implemented a not at all secret gay agenda is regularly adding queerness to children's programming. Check this out, guys. I mean, this is...
I love Disney's content. I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers. I'd heard things like, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little, sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of, Proud Family Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and, our leadership over there has been so welcoming to, my, not at all secret gay agenda. And so, I feel like I felt like it was, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess, something must have happened in the last, they are turning it around, they're going hard, and then all that, momentum that I felt, that sense of, I don't have to be afraid to, let's have these two characters kiss, let's, in the background, I was just, wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to, if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of it. But, I just was no one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me.
All right, folks, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I think this is wrong. I mean, what is your viewpoints on it? I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong that, that they're allowing this. This, they're calling it queerness, right? They're allowing this, and even Disney corporate president Carrie Burke says, as a mother of one transgender child and one pansexual child, she supports having many, 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 and I use the words many, many, many in her quotation, LGBTQIA characters in our stories, and wants a minimum of 50% of characters to be LGBTQIA and racial minorities. What? You got to check this out, guys. This is the Disney a Disney corporate president literally saying this on the same show, The Scoop. Check this out.
I'm here as a mother of two queer children, actually, one transgender child and one pansexual child, and also as a leader. And that was the thing that really got me, because I have heard so much from so many of my colleagues over the course of the last couple weeks, in open forums and through emails and phone conversations. And I feel a responsibility to speak, not just for myself, but for them. to all of us. We had an open forum last week at 20th where
Turn this garbage off. Turn it off. Are we going to allow this, folks? This is the new norm? This is the new norm. Now, let me get this straight here. Because there's a tweet coming out of Marco Rubio on Twitter in relation to this. Let me get this straight. Okay? I'm not attacking the LGBTQ, gay communities all across America and through the world. I am not. I'm not attacking it. I'm just literally implying that you should not be. It should not be allowed in movies and shows such as Disney and others for this crap. This is different. This belongs in the adult world, not the children's world. I don't know, folks. I think this is very wrong in a lot of different cases. Now, Marco Rubio making this statement here on his Twitter account at Marco Rubio, saying that at the Walt Disney Company filmed Mulan near #Uyghur genocide camps, and then thanked the people who run those camps in the credits. But they are outraged that Florida schools will not be indoctrinating 5-year-olds on gender identity. Marco Rubio getting in depth there. Yeah. A statement coming out of Walt Disney on Twitter at Walt Disney Company. And this was a statement from the Walt Disney Company on signing of Florida legislation, saying that Florida's HB 1557, also known as the Don't Say Gay bill, should have never have passed and should never have been signed into law. Our goal as a company is for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in courts. And we remain committed to supporting the national and state organizations working to achieve that. We are dedicated to standing up for their rights and safety of LGBTQ plus members of the Disney family, as well as our LGBTQ plus community in Florida and across the country. Has Disney become woke, folks? I think it has. I think it has. I think I think it's gotten a little crazy. There's a world premiere on the Disney Pixar studio company, literally coming out with Onward, the world premiere. Nina West literally attends the world premiere of Disney and Pixar's Onward at the Capane Theater just a couple of years ago, February 18, 2020 in Hollywood, California. Folks, the company, has it gone woke? You're damn right it has. This was never implemented when I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, times have changed, Mike. Times have changed, and things are different now. I guess they are. I guess they are. Now Disney Plus, their streaming platform, is recognizing Pride Month by spotlighting LGBTQ themed programming. Yeah, the streaming service, folks, recently debuted the short film The Little Princesses about gender non-conforming kid. The new comedy series Big Shots, starring John Stamos, right, featured a lesbian kiss between two high school characters. Guys, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? I want to close it out here in about another few minutes here with Ron DeSantis literally making a statement towards Disney with their whole ordeal about everything. Check this out, guys.
a statement and say that the bill should have never passed and that they are going to actively work to repeal it, I think, one, was fundamentally dishonest, but two, I think that crossed the line.
Yeah, it did. It did cross the line. Okay? Now, there's reasons why laws are put into place, you know. There are reasons why we have laws in this country. You know, and, you know, with this whole woke culture, cancel culture crap that we see in America today, you know, these liberals, you know, the hysteria, the controversy, you know, everything. They're getting so upset that their feelings are being hurt, folks. They're saying that these laws are unfair and these laws are biased and these laws should have never been implemented into our society. Well, let me tell you something, Jack. Let me tell you something, Jill, right? I guess you know where I'm going with this, right, folks? We have laws in this country, like I said, on purpose, to balance out our society where you don't have a bunch of knuckleheads and jackalheads and crazy-ass nut jobs literally putting this country to the ground. Okay? Laws are there to balance out our society, not make things biased and unfair to these liberals out there and these crazy nut jobs of Democrats. And I applaud Ron DeSantis as a governor, and other governors should stand behind him. Like, where are the rest of the Republicans at? How come they're not standing behind him on this issue? Right? I mean, seriously, stand behind people like Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, others, of trying to protect America, not attack it. They're not attacking America. They're trying to protect it. And that's my closing, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's Patriot Brief, and we will see you later this evening for another episode of Unfiltered Wednesday Stir Up, guys. Check us out later this evening. All right, guys.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.